Gentrification, the 12th Avenue Story by Edgar Durazo. This story is one that I hold near and dear to me because it's a place that I like to call home. I was born and raised near the streets of 12th and Drexel, a place which my dad affectionately calls La Barriada, which is a Mexican slang term for the neighborhood. Located on the south side of Tucson, specifically the city of South Tucson, there has always been a negative connotation with anything located on the south side. The story I will tell explains an exact opposite. Having grown up in the area, I call it home as it is a place where my abuelos have lived since they moved from California almost 40 years ago. In the neighborhood, there are many people who, like my abuelos, moved here and lived here in this area since the houses were first built, and it has become a community which could be considered an extended family. Many of the neighbors will talk with each other either in the morning before heading to work, which is usually a quick buenos dias and a hand wave, or in the afternoon when they go outside to water their plants and admire la tardeada, Spanish for evening. In many ways, this area of 12th Avenue can be considered a mini Mexico. From its very beginning, it has been a community of immigrants which has slowly grown to 9,000 plus peoples in the present day, and more than 90% of these people identify as Latino or Hispanic. Many of the businesses here are Mexican owned, and the most spoken language in this area is Spanish. Along 12th Avenue, beginning on Drexel Avenue and going to 44th Street, there are many types of businesses, such as tire shops, mechanic shops, barber shops, but the number one booming business is Mexican food. You'll find many community staples in this area, such as La Estea Bakery, El Güero Canelo, BK Tacos and Hot Dogs, Tacos Hapson, and many raspado and dulceria places all in between. On December 15, 2015, Tucson was rewarded with becoming the first UNESCO City of Gastronomy in the United States. According to UNESCO, the food in Tucson has a history that can be traced back to 4,000 years. This was back when the Native Americans first inhabited the Old Pueblo. One of the first Mexican food places I would like to talk about is La Estea Bakery. La Estea is a family-owned and operated business that has been around since 1986. Every day, the workers arrive somewhere between 3 to 4 in the morning to make dough for the different types of bread that they sell. They open their doors at 6 in the morning and sell Mexican pan dulces such as empanadas, churros, conchas, cochitos, and many others. They also sell fresh-made menudo and corn and flour tortillas, which have been staples of the Mexican household for centuries. Every day, there is a line beginning from when they open at 6 a.m., and although they try to prepare as much as they can for the day, there are points where they completely sell out of some of the people's favorite pan dulce. Coming in second place is a tie between Güero Canelo and BK Tacos and Hot Dogs. These are two rival restaurants who each claim to have been the first to sell the Sonoran hot dog and tacos de asada in Tucson, and both claim to have perfected their own recipes. This has been a rivalry that has been going on for nearly 3 decades in Tucson, with Daniel Contreras, the owner of Güero Canelo, originally from Magdalena, Sonora, claiming to have started the business in 1993. On the other hand, Benjamin Galas, originally from Nacosari, Sonora, claimed to have started in 1994. The rivalry has been so intense that both businesses were featured in an episode of the Travel Channel's Food Wars in 2015. In this episode, BK Tacos and Hot Dogs took the crown for the best Sonoran hot dog, but in 2018, El Güero Canelo took home the James Beard Food Award. This award recognizes the pioneers in the gourmet food world who have made an everlasting impact on the world with their food. If you ask me, I honestly believe that both businesses have made an everlasting impact on the gastronomy of the United States, and especially in South Tucson. The last but not least famous taco stand I would like to talk about from Tucson is the Tacos Hapson stand. Its name is a combination of the hometown that the owner, Francisco Durazo, originally from Agua Prieta, Sonora, hence the first 2 letters in the name being the initials AP, and Son because Agua Prieta is located in the Mexican state of Sonora. The name also drew inspiration from Francisco's dad, who had a band called Los Abson in Agua Prieta. Francisco Durazo has been serving up traditional Sonoran tacos for over 23 years, beginning in the late 1990s to early 2000s, and he hasn't stopped since. Recently, there has been an explosion of food trucks and food stands, also known as puestecitos, all along 12th Avenue. Many of these food trucks still sell the Sonoran hot dogs and tacos to many customers. Some of them are famous for being open till late, such as 2 in the morning or even 3, and others are more famous for the sweets and snacks that they sell, such as cóctel de elote, also known as esquites in other parts of Mexico, or the tostitos preparados. These are tostitos that they put nacho cheese and cucumbers and all sorts of different stuff. Or others even sell ice creams and so on. It's incredible the resiliency that these people have to continue business in a place where many people would say that the market is saturated. But that's what makes Tucson's 12th Avenue unique, is the fact that all these people who, even though 12th Avenue is a hotspot for food, continue to add on to the cultural and gastronomical diversity of Tucson. One might also notice the abundance of carnicerias going down 12th Avenue. Some of the most famous ones are Carniceria El Herradero and Carniceria Los Alejandros. Both of these carnicerias, also known as meat markets in English, are like the traditional Mexican style mini markets that appear all over Sonora. In the case of Los Alejandros, it is most famously known for supplying the bread for hot dogs used by some of the best known names in Tucson, even those such as Güero Canelo and BK. When passing through 12th Avenue, some may notice that much of it looks outdated and old, and many have said that 12th Avenue needs a revitalization in order to help business keep flowing to the area. Such projects have been taken on by Mayor Regina Romero and a South Tucson Coalition for Improving South 12th Avenue. And these projects include adding Mexican themed art to the area, such as paint on the actual asphalt, and many Mexican themed pottery and other objects, with the hope that in the near future, 12th Avenue can become like Calle Olvera in Los Angeles, which that is what the program seeks to have to be the example for what 12th Avenue could become, which is a street market that will attract hundreds of people, especially given that Tucson is known for its gastronomy and being the only city in the United States so far to have earned that recognition, could attract plenty of visitors, and hopefully the tourism could invigorate some of the South Tucson area and turn it into a very, very attractive place for people to come visit. In 2001, South Tucson took on a ambitious project for urban revitalization. This included the construction of many stores and primarily a movie theater in 2008. The stores include Target, Home Depot, and so on, but the real attractions were the ones built in 2008, which include the movie theater, known as Harkins, Peter Piper, Cold Stone, and many other restaurants local to that plaza. This project ultimately brought about a lot of urban revitalization that the South Side needed. It brought many people back to South Tucson and inspired confidence in an area which was once barren desert. With the project of the Spectrum Plaza having been completed, South Tucson undertook a new, greater project, which is now known as the Landing Center. This plot of land sat opposite side of the Spectrum Center, just north of Irvington, and with this brought about many new restaurants that were only available on Tucson's central, east, and north sides. Restaurants such as Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, and many others popular to other places of Tucson but not on the south side. One of the biggest projects that was recently completed in the Landing Center area was that known as Main Event. Main Event brought with it an attraction for groups of many ages, including adults and children. It quickly became the greatest entertainment spot in South Tucson, as it had a record number of attendants on its opening day on March 3rd, 2023. Due to Tucson's recent success with the Landing Center projects, there are now new apartment complexes being built on the Landing Center. This raises questions for many people as to what sorts of future investments we will see in the area. One may never know what sorts of other attractions the developers could come up with to bring more people to this area. It also raises many questions as to what the future of South Tucson holds in store for the rest of the people. One can't help but think and fear that if this is happening not even a mile from 12th Avenue, what could happen to 12th Avenue? Could it end up being torn down in the same sense to rebuild it and revitalize it, making it come back even greater than it once was? Or could it end up being too much of an urban renewal and making it lose its original sense and purpose, which was that of a close community and the original style of the people that live here? When asking many of my friends and family, these people said that 12th Avenue needs an urgent makeover. Many of those said that what happened with the Spectrum Plaza and the Landing Center Plaza is a great attraction for new people to come and visit South Tucson and to bring more money into the area. And while it is true, I can't help but think that Tucson's 12th Avenue has an original flavor and character to it. I, for one, would be a big advocate of gathering the community and taking the time to clean up the trash and graffiti around the area. I feel that that would be an essential first step in making sure that 12th Avenue has a future ahead of it. The next step would be to, if possible, work with community members and get a general opinion on if 12th Avenue needs the type of makeover that many people are suggesting. I fear that this may include tearing down much of the brick architecture and buildings that exist in the area in order to make way for new style buildings like those in the Spectrum Plaza and Landing Center. I also fear for what could be of the new restaurants, and essentially they may be competition for the existing restaurants if 12th Avenue was to undergo a makeover. I believe in a plan such as that of the proposed Calle Olvera transformation style could be very beneficial for South Tucson, turning it into a attraction for tourists looking to walk around the area and having it seem like a clean and presentable as well as friendly and inviting place with the Mexican culture could be a very important and very potentially beneficial upgrade for South Tucson. But I fear that perhaps developers or many other community members may want to get away with making it more like the modern shopping plazas in the time that we are seeing, and in a sense, losing the culture of 12th Avenue. Given how long 12th Avenue has lasted, I believe that in its current state, with its popular Mexican food restaurants, it could last for very much longer. Part of me does not want to see this community fade into something that it is no longer recognizable for. I am proud to say that South 12th Avenue is a place that has endured in a time where things are always changing.